It's Jay with Jay Money Secrets, your wealth and your insurance expert. I want to share something with you guys to let you know why I took out a 20-year term policy out. Number one, if I were to pass within the next 20 years, my legacy, my son, is going to receive $1.5 million, right? That doesn't take into account any stocks, any bonds, any real estate, any partnerships, any businesses that I currently have. But he's going to receive that $1.5 million. And guess what? That money will be received tax free. The question is the value that I'm getting, which is 1.5 million, how much is it costing? Less than $4 a day. Number two, we have the ability to actually convert this term, which is a temporary insurance policy, into a permanent insurance policy. And guess what? I got 15 years in order to do so. So over the next 20 years of me building wealth, if something happens to me, 1.5 million goes to my legacy. Number two, within that 15-year time frame of me having this policy, I can convert it into a permanent policy where I can have insurance forever. And not only that, I change it into an asset where I start building this thing called cash value. And number three, these are what we call accelerated benefit riders, ABRs. These are what we call living benefits. So when I am alive, I actually have different situation scenarios where I get to use the death benefit of my insurance. So when you hear life insurance, the key word is life. Now imagine this. If I get a terminal illness, which it happens, a chronic illness, a critical illness, did you know every 60 seconds someone has a stroke? How many people you know that have a transplant? How many people are disabled or lose a limb or two or three or four, right? When these things happen, even including this thing called Alzheimer's, guess what? I get to access part of that $1.5 million out of my death benefit while I'm still alive if I get a terminal illness, a chronic illness, a critical injury, or Alzheimer's disease. Imagine that life insurance that you get to use while you're alive. But the key is me being able to access part of that death benefit while I'm alive prevents me from having to sell my house to get equity to pay for my living expenses, my medical costs, prevents me from having to sell money in the market out of my retirement plans, and I may be penalized indoor tax, prevents me from withdrawing or dwindling down my savings accounts, right? It helps protect the wealth I've already started building, and I shift that risk to an insurance company. So let me ask you, if something happens to you, what do you have access to? Do you only have a death benefit, or do you have these things called living benefits and the option to also make your permanent policy? If not, you need to get with the right agent. I'm that guy. Check the link in the bio. Let's schedule some time to talk about what you have to make sure what you have is enough, to make sure that you got options, not only options upon your death, but even while you're still alive. Let's invest.